Welcome back to the channel, little flexers. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. This is the best place to be to learn about the Pokemon TCG and have some fun along the way. Erratas are official changes to the card text on or appearances of a card, often to clarify card effects or to preserve how cards interact with one another. Sometimes a card is re-released with the error corrected, and sometimes a written statement from the Pokemon Company is issued to fix the mistake. In the Pokemon TCG, these erratas most often happen because of a mistranslation from Japanese to other languages, a printing error, or because the power level of the game has changed since the card was first released. In today's video, we're going to cover the top 10 strangest Pokemon card erratas. Starting off at number 10 is Great Ball. The current iteration of Great Ball, which was re-released in the Black and White expansion Emerging Powers, reads, "Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck." However, the original printing of the card from the 2004 expansion EX Fire Red Leaf Green had a much stronger effect. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterward. Personally, I think the current text on Great Ball more appropriately matches the power level of the item in the video games, but interestingly, the original Great Ball text was reprinted on the card Nest Ball from the Sun and Moon base expansion. But Great Ball isn't the last ball card on this list, as you'll see in just a bit. At number 9, we have Hyper Potion. This card is so strange because of how drastically the healing effect changed over time. The original text for Hyper Potion read, "Choose one of your Pokemon. Discard 1 or 2 basic energy cards attached to that Pokemon. If you discarded 1 energy card, remove up to 3 damage counters from that Pokemon. If you discarded 2 energy cards, remove up to 5 damage counters from that Pokemon." But Hyper Potion got a significant upgrade in the Sword and Shield expansion. As Pokemon cards got significantly more HP, the game designers knew that the old text was far too weak. The current iteration of the card reads, "Heal 120 damage from one of your Pokemon that has at least 2 energy attached. If you healed any damage in this way, discard 2 energy from it." The original printing would have been unplayable with modern Pokemon cards, and a revamp was desperately needed. As Pokemon gained more and more HP in the decade between the original printing of Hyper Potion to its re-release, the card needed some help to stay relevant. Just like Grandma learning how to use Instagram, Hyper Potion is just trying to keep up with the times. The next card on our list features the polarizing character Charizard. Love it or hate it, Charizards are some of the most popular cards in the game, which is what makes this error, and subsequent errata, so head-scratching. Charizard from Plasma Storm depicts a large-headed, shiny Charizard that bears an uncanny resemblance to Megamind. The designers put a lot of effort into making this card look as good as possible with the gold border, the textured fire watermark, and the unique artwork. But there's one important detail that was overlooked: the attack cost. Let's take a look at Charizard's second attack. Anything seem off? If you caught it, make sure to comment down below that you're the smartest human alive. That's right, the attack needs a fighting energy instead of a fire energy. Despite this card being much better in a binder than in a competitive deck, Pokemon released an official errata to correct this mistake. Collectors have speculated that this error was caused by a miscommunication between the card designers and the card printing company, where the R symbol denoting a fire energy cost was swapped for the F symbol for fighting energy. What's even stranger is that this isn't the only time these two symbols have been swapped on a Charizard. In the Gym Challenge 2 set, Blaine's Charizard also had a fighting energy swapped for a fire in its first attack. Coming in at number 7 from the Heart Gold Soul Silver Unleashed expansion is Onyx. The original text for its Energy Healer Pokebody was supposed to read, "Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to Onyx, remove 1 damage counter from Onyx." That's pretty mundane and underwhelming for a Pokebody. However, it was mistranslated in English to read, "Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, remove 1 damage counter from that Pokemon. With this translation, you could, in theory, have 4 Onyx on your bench and heal 40 damage from any Pokemon by attaching a single energy card. If you factor in Pokemon that could attach multiple energy in a turn, like Blastoise, you'd have a deck with unlimited healing power. The Pokemon Company quickly realized the error, and an errata was issued a short time later. At number 6 is Cinderace from Sword and Shield. Cinderace's errata isn't immediately apparent, even to someone with extensive knowledge of the game. The attacks cost the appropriate energy, they do reasonable damage, and it just looks like a plain old Pokemon card to the naked eye. But this card was issued an errata not for what was on the card, but what isn't on the card. You see, Cinderace was originally supposed to have a 2 retreat cost instead of the printed 1. While this card never saw competitive play due to being outclassed by other more powerful Pokemon of the time like Zacian V and Victini V, it is still important for the cards to function the same in all languages. Despite Cinderace being among the fastest Pokemon in the video games, this Cinderace took an arrow to the knee after the Pokemon Company released an official errata correcting the retreat cost. At number 5 is Dialga from Platinum. Traditionally, Dialga has been represented in the games as a Metal-type Pokemon, but reverse holo versions of this card were accidentally printed as colorless typing. An official errata was released to ensure that players could only use this Dialga as a Metal-type, but to be honest, this error version looks pretty good, no? And coming in at number 4 is Pokemon Catcher. Have you ever seen a movie and thought it was the greatest thing ever? And then a few years later saw it again and thought it was average? That's exactly what the Pokemon Catcher errata felt like. When Pokemon Catcher was first released in the Black and White Emerging Powers expansion, it was an inclusion in every competitive deck at the time. It read, switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon. Pokemon Catcher was essentially a reprint of Gust of Wind from base set, and it was no surprise that players tried to fit in as many of these cards into their deck as possible. With free access to an opponent's bench, a player could bring the benched Pokemon that their opponent was trying to power up into the active position to be KO'd. But Pokemon Catcher proved to be too powerful for the game designers, and a second printing of Pokemon Catcher was released in the Breakpoint expansion that had the same effect, except it was only activated if the player using the Pokemon Catcher flipped heads. While the card still saw play, the errata nerfed this card from a must include in every deck to being seldom played. In at number 3 is Super Rod. If you've ever played competitively over the last decade, you are probably familiar with the current version of this card. Super Rod's current text reads, shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. But did you know that Super Rod's original card had a far different and a far worse effect? Flip a coin. If heads, put an evolution card from your discard pile, if any, into your hand. If tails, put a basic Pokemon card from your discard pile, if any, into your hand. Super Rod is the most effective fishing tool in the entire video game series, so it's odd that the original effect would be so underwhelming and random. Super Rod? More like Average Rod. Up next is Rare Candy. Rare Candy was first depicted in the trading card game in 2003, when it was printed in the EX Sandstorm expansion. It has subsequently received many more additions in later expansions. Originally, Rare Candy could be used to evolve Pokemon that had just come into play that turn, meaning you could establish some pretty powerful Stage 2 Pokemon out of nowhere. It wasn't until Black and White that the game designers decided to issue an errata to the card. The newly released Rare Candy read, choose one of your basic Pokemon and play. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from that Pokemon, put that card on the basic Pokemon. You can't use this card during your first turn or on a basic that was just put into play this turn. The current printing of the card is a significant nerf to Stage 1 and 2 base decks, because you're no longer able to get those Pokemon onto your field in one turn. The one-turn players are forced to wait before evolving meant that the opponent had an opportunity to KO the basic you were trying to evolve, or disrupt your hand so that you no longer had the Rare Candy and Stage 2 in hand. This errata altered the course of the game forever and helped usher in the dominance of decks featuring beefy basic Pokemon like Darkrai EX and Mewtwo and Mew GX. And at number 1 is Quickball. Quickball, like Super Rod, is another card that received a significant alteration to its card text. I always find it funny that because of the errata, you can play older versions of this card in your decks, despite the text being so different. The first edition of Quickball was released in the Mysterious Treasures expansion. It read, "Reveal cards from your deck until you reveal a Pokemon. Show that Pokemon to your opponent and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other revealed cards back into your deck. If you don't reveal a Pokemon, shuffle all the revealed cards back into your deck." Contrast that with the current edition from Sword and Shield, which says you can play this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then, shuffle your deck. While the Mysterious Treasures version of Quickball could get you the evolution Pokemon you may have wanted, it was just as likely to hit a Pokemon you didn't want. Quickball guarantees you get the basic you want every time. The discarding effect can also be leveraged with cards like Flaffy and Dark Patch activated by getting energy into the discard pile. With the errata, Quickball went from a barely used card to being one of the best ball cards in the game. How's that for a glow up? Thank you so much for watching this video. If there was a card you felt belonged on the list, or if you felt I did a perfect job, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like one of my other videos on the screen. But for now, I'm going to make the rest of this outro like the ball card at the top spot on this list. Quick, God bless. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you later. And remember, good luck, and also have fun.